Hey guys, today we're going to do kind of a fun painting. It's going to be a seascape or a beach painting, but we're going to use a black canvas, which I made black um, by painting it with black gesso, which is this right here, acrylic black gesso. You can find that next to the liquid white in Hobby Lobby. So that's what we're going to be doing today. It's going to have a wave, maybe some palm trees, and a nice sky, nice sunset with the sun. So for colors today, I'll show you. We only got four, and one of them is optional. We have titanium white, which will be the bulk of our colors. We have alizarin crimson, which is going to be the background, and then the white will go on top. You'll see. I have a little bit of black to do the palm trees, and the optional color is the cadmium yellow for the sun, for the sunset. If you don't have cadmium yellow or you don't feel like it, you could just use more titanium white. So there's nothing on this canvas except the acrylic, the black gesso acrylic, and a line of masking tape for our horizon. That's it. So there's no, I'm not using liquid clear, I'm not using liquid white. The alizarin crimson is sort of uh, um, it's liquidy enough to where you don't need to do anything to it. So what I like to do, so now we have to cover the whole top with alizarin crimson. So what I like to do, just to be lazy and fast, I like to get some on my knife and just sort of spread it in there, scrape it, because we don't need a ton of color here. We don't need a big thick gob of color laid down, okay? We just need just enough to cover it. You don't want this too thick. So I'm sort of spreading it on and then scraping it back off. The color will stay in the canvas. Just cover the big blocky areas. Kind of looks like a mess now, but don't worry, we're gonna fix this baby up. So just wherever there's parts of the black canvas, scrape off the excess. You probably only need maybe a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more or less depending on the size of your canvas. But if you use the 16 by 20, you need about a tablespoon's worth of acrylic paint for the top. We're going to use more for the bottom as well. So just get it in there. All right, yeah, that's good. Okay, so I pretty much used all of it, but I made sure to spread it around pretty evenly. All right, so now we're just going to sort of smoothen this out just to cover the areas, because the palette knife didn't get everything. Obviously, it didn't get every square inch of it. So we're just going to spread it out, and this will also take out some of the excess paint as well, stuff that you didn't get with your palette knife. All right, so just left to right, left to right. Don't go up and down because it kind of makes it look a little strange. I'm sure you can see that. Just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right, good job. Uh, I'm not as motivational as Bob, but so this brush is going to stay red. That's all we need. Um, so we just need a red brush. And actually, throughout this whole painting, you won't have to wash any brushes, assuming you have two, two 2-inch and two fan brushes, and maybe the round brush, because we're going to do some ocean spray. Should be all the brushes you need for this painting. All right, so now we have our red on there. So we're just working on the sky right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my dirty fan brush, and I'm going to go into the titanium white, okay? And I'm going to get some paint, load it up. Not too much, but enough, okay? I'm going to get some paint, okay? And what I'm going to do is the sun is going to be setting in this area, so that's going to be our light source. So I'm going to start with X's. And I'm just going to go in a circular pattern around or above this horizon line. By the way, that's the horizon line is the tape. Okay, here. And just go till you run out of paint. right? Just because as you run out of paint on your brush, it'll get lighter and lighter in the sky. Okay? Now, don't go back into the white paint, otherwise it's going to be like hot pink and whatever. Wash this brush. So I guess what I said earlier is kind of a lie. You are going to have to wash your brush, even if you have two of them, because you don't want to see how dirty that paint is or that brush is. You don't want that back in this white area here. But luckily, fan brushes are easy to wash. Okay, now take your palette knife, and you're gonna, maybe you can't see it on here, but you're gonna notice that this paint here is a little thick. Just scrape it off. It's gonna have a lot on there. Okay, scrape it off. Let's see it at a decent amount there. Okay, now we're gonna take a clean dry brush, and we're just gonna blend. We're gonna blend this. Now, we don't have liquid white, we don't have liquid clear, but because the alizarin crimson is pretty liquidy itself, um, we can blend this. Oh, my wrist is already starting to hurt. Please leave a like or drop a comment because my wrist is suffering. I did martial arts for like 15 years and my wrist didn't hurt this bad. Okay, now you can go back and do a second term with your clean brush. I don't feel like doing it, but I'll do it just for you guys, just to show you I care. But you could do as many as you want. You can make it as light as you want or as dull. So just get some more white, liquid white on the clean brush. Okay. After you blended it, all that, get some more liquid white. And then just repeat the process, and this will make it a little bit lighter. Now you can make this part lighter, okay, like that. There, okay. Again, wash the brush. Like I said, I know I lied, whatever. You do have to wash your brush in this painting, but you'll be okay. All right, oh, I'm sorry. Get your palette knife again and just zip off. You're going to notice there's a lot of paint. Do not try to blend this with all that paint on there. You will be a little upset. So knock off excess paint and just blend. Okay, good. This is kind of a fun painting to like show your family and friends, because once you get the alizarin crimson on there, um, it really, once you get the alizarin crimson on there, do that ahead of time, and then put the titanium white on there, and it will really impress them. All right, so what we have here is, so we did our sky. Now, we can add some clouds, which is fine. Again, go into the titanium white here. Now, keep in mind there's the sunset, so it's dark. So you're not going to see big, bright, puffy clouds here because this is like dark. But, we can just do a few here, do a few here. Yeah, I like that. That's good. Just enough. A few here like that. That's how I like to do it. That's easy as shit, right? Just tap, tap, just get like that. This is how I like to do clouds, especially for beginners. It's a lot of fun. You just mush or just tap and just zip off the excess. Just slightly. Don't go crazy. You don't want to smear it. But just zip off the excess, right? Get rid of the excess. Take your slightly barely clean brush, knock off the excess, and then just go over. Just go over. Okay? Because these are going to be in the background. Blend the bottom. If you have a bigger one, blend the bottom, right? Just there. And these are going to be faded anyway because it's going to be very, a real hazy kind of sky. I'll watch this. What the heck? You're in this painting, you're going to need a lot of pure white, just because we need the contrast. We're only really basically using two colors, two main colors. So you need a little extra. All right, now here's where your optional fourth color comes in. Like I said, you can use titanium white for this, or you can use the yellow. Yellow is kind of fun. So just we're gonna finger paint, and actually I think I put way too much yellow, but maybe we'll use the yellow on the palm trees or something. So pick your center where it's brightest, and do your. This is going to be your sun. Try to keep it as circular as possible. Sometimes I have a tough time with that. Just rub the paint in there, okay? It'll make it kind of an orangey thing, and then just you want to zip off the excess lightly. Knock off on your blending brush and just sort of there. And then you have a sunset. Hopefully you can see it. It doesn't look so great now, but wait till we take the tape off. Okay, let me fix that. All right, let me bring you guys down just a touch. There we go. That's good. You don't necessarily need to see my face for this, but unless you want to. Okay, so now, listen. Do as many clouds as you want. Do a bright sun. You can even go back and do this sun twice. Just to make sure you got it in there with the color. Right? Pretty easy. Right? Just zip off the excess, and then lightly reblend it. There you go. You want it to be you don't want it to be like real precise because it's far away and it's the horizon. All right, so you ready for this peel porn? There we go. Bing, bing, bang, boom. Nice, huh? Now it looks a little bit better, a little bit more put together. See that? You can kind of see the sun a little bit. Good. All right, now, what should we do? All right, let's get more red. We need more red. So let's I all I have is this. I don't have too much. We might need a little bit more, but I don't know. Doesn't matter. So now comes a little bit of whatever, but we're gonna have to, which is why I'm choosing to use the palette knife for this. We're gonna have to go underneath the horizon line to make sure that we get the paint here. Okay, so this part you're gonna have to take your time. This is the one part about doing this painting. Now, don't get me wrong, you don't have to be exactly right up to the horizon. There could be a little bit of a gap there. Okay, but basically we're coming through. We are going to definitely need more red paint. I'm a little skittish about too much paint because the last time, or years ago when I was just starting out, I squeezed way too much paint, wasted a lot of it, and I didn't need half of it. Especially when you do these black canvas paintings, you really don't need as much paint as you think you are, because that's kind of the whole point of using the black canvas, is that the black canvas does a lot of the work. All right, so now same process as the top. We're gonna just, like I said, just here, just take your time when you get to the horizon. Okay, that's why I like to use the palette knife. It's nice flat surface. And then, once you get the horizon covered, or sorry, once you get all the way across, you're good. Here, you can just slap it on. So I'll do that, and then I'll be right back. All right, guys, so what I did was I repeated the same process as the sky. I just gobbed on the alizarin crimson with the palette knife, maintaining the edge of the horizon. It's not perfect, but close enough. And then I just scraped off the excess, and then sort of spread it out evenly with my 2-inch brush that I use, the same one that I use for the sky. Okay. All right. Now this is kind of the fun part. We get to do all the reflections of the waves and stuff. Now, Bob does have a technique where he sort of gets his filbert brush. You could do it with a fan brush. Actually, I will do it with a fan brush. And he sort of maps out where he's going to put the major wave. So just get a little bit, not too much. This is just to use as a guide. So back when I first started, I used to put the wave way far down here, and then it left all this space here, and it's too much to do for the colors. So I want it about, we're going about halfway, maybe 55% up. And I'll start from here, and then the wave is going to be there, like that, basically. Okay, pretty simple. Okay, good. That again, like I said, that's just a marker. So now we get to do the fun part. So I'm going to take just a little bit of the titanium white, some more of that yellow. Okay, I'm going to sort of a little bit of yellow, not too much. I'm going to mix it up. If some of the red gets in there, that's okay. You don't want this too yellow, but just enough. Okay, because the sun is yellow, obviously. Anyone who went to first grade knows that. And we're going to, kind of like the mountains, we're just going to thin it out and then scrape off a little roll. And then we're going to just start touching here. You know, now, obviously, these are the reflections of the sun. Obviously, the closer you are to this sun in the middle, the more powerful the paint is going to be. And subsequently here in this area. But out here, it's going to be light, much lighter. So, you know, you can start here. Now, as you get closer, now again, I'm just tapping. Just, I loaded up the brush, or sorry, excuse me, the knife, and I'm just tapping, tapping, tapping. As you get further out from the sun, it's going to be light, light, light. We're almost going to do nothing over here. And don't worry, I have something for this area as well. So just like that. Yeah. Yeah. You know, as we get closer, you can give us some more. All right, that's it for the knife, for the palette knife. Now, get your fan brush. Get some of the white, some of the whatever, some white, some, you know, this yellow color we mixed up, but mostly white. There's going to be a little bit of red in there. You can't help it. This is just kind of how this painting is, but we want light and dark. So we're going to start coming in here like this. Just one good line and then blend it here. This again, this is foreground stuff. This is close by. Don't worry about it. A lot of it will be covered up. Here. Okay. Reload. You can excuse me, you can add a little bit of liquid white for this if you want. Okay. All right, just sort of blend it in. Do a little of these things. Good. All right, now we're going to do the wave. Okay. I just picked up my white paint and put it down. Let's see. I'm gonna get just a touch of liquid white for this. There. Okay. And I'm going. This is going to be the actual wave. This one that we did there is just to give us a guide. So I like to start here. Little liquid white crashing over. Turn the brush over. Right. Reload. Now, actually, I like to just here. There you go. Now you want to make sure not to like do a dark, or sorry, do one and then again, because then it's gonna I'll show you here, and then it's gonna make it red and sort of blotchy. Okay, that's our crest of our wave here, and we'll just blend it out. Okay, now next thing we're going to do is, I guess we could take this filbert brush. Bob uses the filbert brush, and we're going to get that same light white yellow sort of red orange mixture. Put it on the filbert brush, not too much. Okay, and right in this here, this circle, we're going to start scrubbing it in. I mean, I'm pressing pretty hard. We're scrubbing here. Just let it go out a little bit, you know, as you run out of paint. You know, let it go off into nothing. Okay, wash that real quick so I don't have to do it later. Okay, good. All right, so looks a little strange, but we're gonna blend and do whatever. So I'm using a 2-inch. You can use the 1-inch if you're more comfortable. And I'm just gonna start blending similar. Treat it almost like one of the clouds. You know, think about the like you're blending the clouds here, right? And then you're just kind of blending it in. Try not to get it blend it too much up into here. You're more so blending it into the bottom, okay? And then pull it out. It's starting to rain, and then just we're gonna pull it sort of in like a I don't know, like a Nike swoosh kind of feeling, right? And that's your swell, you know. Those waves draw out and then crash over, right? I told you I took martial arts. Okay, so here, good. So we're gonna do this and then oh, it's really starting to rain here. Okay, so which is very scenic. I don't have a lot of white paint left. There's not a ton there, but I think we'll be good. I'm just gonna fix this part because this part you want smooth on the top there like that. Okay. Let's see. All right, now what should we do? All right, let's do a little bit of. We gotta do a little bit of this red. I have barely just enough left, and I'm gonna get some of the black here, some of the black, and the red. Mix those together. Okay, and then I'm gonna go here and just scrub, just like we did for the center. Scrub, 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 scrub. Okay. All right, guys. So I did the black and red mixture. So now I'm just going to come in here and blend it. Just blend the whole thing. Don't worry about it. I got some extra there for some reason. Um, just blend it a little bit. This is just a darker color so that we can then go on top of with a little bit of liquid white. I like to use liquid white. We can go on top with this will now be our foam for the wave. Okay, so we're gonna start. I like to start here because it's a big. So we're gonna big circles here. Right now, you want to keep this. Excuse me, this white on top there. Uh, you want to keep this here, and then you can kind of go through there, here. Again, blend the bottom out. Blend the bottom so it matches. Blend here. Blend underneath. You're basically blending the bottom, similar to how we do the clouds. Okay. And once again, we're going to pull down. Like I said, this is our crest or whatever of the wave. Now, here's a fun thing too. This is what I like to do. I don't remember seeing Bob do this. Not that I'm claiming to take credit for it, but I don't remember seeing him do this. Anyway, so I'm going to take just a touch of the paint thinner, and I'm going to go into my white. Don't go into all your white here. Use some of this yellow because we still need a little bit of white left. So what I'm doing is I want this thin. If you need to, if you're running out of white, just get a little liquid white. That'll be fine. But we need this to be thin, pretty thin, not crazy, but pretty thin. Okay. Here. You can get a touch of the yellow if you want. Okay, so this is going to be a similar idea to like when we make highlights on the bushes, right? And we're basically just going to be touching here at follow the top, the angle of the dangle here, here, seafoam or mist. I like this part. This is my favorite part actually. I kind of discovered not this. Yeah, I kind of discovered this. I don't remember seeing it here, and you can make it go off of the you can kind of have some fun with it actually. Make it go up real high. Like this here. It's really crashing now. This area we're going to take care of that. Okay, good. Now let's see. Like I said, for this area I'm gonna scrape out some paint. Don't throw that away. Use that shit. All right, now is when our black paint comes into play. So the whole thing I took, whole thing. Now this might not be enough, but whatever. So we're gonna do like a little jetty or a little what the hell is that called? Yeah, jetty. So we're gonna do some, and let's make it look jagged. That's why I scraped out the paint here, just because jetties are real jagged with pointy rocks and whatever. Okay, okay, here, okay, yeah, good. Now take a little bit of that black paint. Hopefully you can see that. I had to close my garage door because the rain was coming in. It makes this floor slippery. So take a little bit of your black paint, just and then clean up this white. Just we want a highlight color now. Okay, so you don't want it too crazy light, but here's where you start making decisions on where your rocks are. This is kind of like the mountains. Don't cover everything with the highlight. Just do it real light, just so you can get a little sense. And then, if you want, just use the flat side of the knife just to refine it a little bit. Because remember, our light's coming from this way, so you're going to see less and less over here, more so over here. Okay, good. That looks all right. All right, nothing crazy. All right, good. Now we're almost done here, believe it or not. Okay, so what we're going to do is a little bit of white. Now this is the fun part as well. So it's gonna be real swirly, swishy here. Don't go too much into this area because that's your swell, and we'll do something with that in just a second. But this is just some sea foam. This is also a good way to clean up the bottom of your rocks. Here, just like that. This is pretty easy for beginners, especially. Uh, if you guys want me to do the more complicated one where we use the knife and you create like a line, let me know in the comments. But for now, we'll just do this. And then what I like to do is with the same fan brush, just sort of lightly go over everything just to diffuse it, take the brush strokes out. Okay, so that's that. I guess I'll wash this. All right, wash my filbert brush too. Bear with me. Okay. Oh, you know what? You know what I forgot? Actually, let me wash this off. Something I forgot. Almost forgot. This is something that's fun that kind of adds to the the feeling of the water crashing into the jetty. So here it's going to crash and sort of go over down here like that. You definitely need to have loose paint for this. Add some liquid white if you need to. Here. Yeah, there. You know, and it kind of like is flowing over. I don't know. I did the best I could. I've done ones that are better than that, I swear. Let's see. Just fill in this area here. You know. Boom. All right, good. Now, washing off my 1 inch or my round brush that we did the sea foam with. Okay. Uh, let's see. All right, now. Oh, my fan brush is over here, so I was washing that. All right, now here's something fun. Uh, uh, palm trees are like probably one of the easiest ones to do. So you know they're definitely easier than the other trees, and the other trees are pretty easy. These are even easier. So just straight up black. Okay, straight up black. If you need to, you can add a little paint thinner, but not too much. And let's put one right here. Here, coming through, sort of cuts through, and it also pushes that sea foam back. Right, so we got like just a pointy line or whatever. Hopefully you can see that. And then we want to do one of the leaves, which comes off like this, like that. So, you know, start and then like that. Okay. Let's see. Do another one here like that, and one that goes like this. Nice. Good. I'm telling you, palm trees are easy as shit. And also that it, you know, by putting it over the clouds, sort of pushes the clouds back a little bit. Just fill in the gap here, there. Okay. Now, you could use the other fan brush or the knife. It doesn't matter. For this, we're just going to get a little roll of paint. Actually, I'm going to take a little bit of the. So that was just my what's left of my white, and I added just a little bit of the yellow to it. So we're going to take that paint similar to regular bark on a tree, except with this one we're going to. Sorry, I got an angle like this. We're going to sort of touch and pull a little bit, just a little bit. So right at the edge, pull, 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 pull. There you go for a shadow. Just come back, just sort of, you know, fade it out at the bottom. Then let's see. Let's go in the last little bit of the white and yellow here. White and yellow, white and yellow. And we're gonna do some highlights here. Okay, you don't gotta get crazy. Okay. Here, remember the highlights will be closest to the sun, so this back one doesn't get as much. Okay, just enough to let you know it's there. And let's take this, diffuse this. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of like swooshing it a little bit. Okay, just to make it rounded. All right, sweet. I mean, obviously, if you want more palm trees or no palm trees, it doesn't matter. Do whatever you want. But that's pretty much it. Using 2, 3 colors, an optional fourth one. Not too shabby. Um, so I appreciate you guys watching. If you're still watching, I certainly appreciate it. Uh, if you found this video helpful, please leave a like and please subscribe if you want to learn how to paint similar to Bob Ross. Maybe I can explain it in a slightly different way that might click. Uh, so or if you have a request of something you'd like to see, or if you have a complaint, whatever, leave it in the comments. I'd appreciate it. And that's it. I'm going to clean out my brushes like usual, and I'll leave you guys with the painting. There. I should probably get some kind of music that plays over this boring time, so I'm just talking to kind of uh, fill the space. Maybe I should do like ASMR. Hi, yes, it's ASMR. Adam ASMR, how are you? ASMR, 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 ASMR. Painted this painting. Oh, it is white, 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 white ASMR. Makes sense. They call Bob Ross the original ASMR artist. So that makes sense. You know, what I really like for ASMR is hand sounds. Those are great. Like fast hand sounds, finger flutters, and hand rubbing. Also, there's a new one. It's like this rollerball massager thing. Fantastic. Really helps me concentrate at work. So, anyway, um, yeah, if you're still watching, comment what your favorite ASMR is. What the heck? I've been watching ASMR since like 2016. Really helped me concentrate because I work on computers. It can sometimes be real distracting or hard to concentrate, I should say. And ASMR really helps me with that. Maybe I have ADD. I don't really know. Never been diagnosed, but you never know. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this painting. Normally, I prefer to listen to music while I'm doing my painting. Um, kind of vibe out. But I'll see if anybody responds to this teaching videos. If they do, great. Then I'll certainly continue it. And I am getting some decent responses. I know it takes time to grow a channel, and I've had other channels, but I've only had this channel for, I think it's been 6 months, maybe a little bit more. And I never really posted like teaching videos on it. It was just always like 60-second clips of the painting. It's the finished painting itself. But I figured, what the heck, teaching is the next step in the process. All right, guys, that's it. I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much, and have a good day or night or wherever you are. See ya.